You guys asked what the heck is going on with suspension upgrades for 6th generation 4Runners, and well, we got a 2025 of our own. And you want to know what the heck is up with Radflow? And well, we got a set of their brand new 500R Sport 2.0 coilovers and shocks into test. And well, today we're going to show you how to throw them on. I'm Sean Bowman. This is the Shock Surplus Shop, so let's talk some shocks. For those of you who are new here to the Shock Surplus party, we like to test every suspension system we carry on our own vehicle so we can provide real-world feedback on what option might be right for you. We would rather tell it like it is than read off of a fancy spec sheet or regurgitate some flowery copy so that you guys don't make the wrong decision with your hard-earned money. Speaking of which, I think these Radflow 500R Sport 2.0 coilovers and shocks are really going to be the right choice for a lot of you guys out there. These shocks are a 2-inch body monotube design. The front coilovers are adjustable up to 2 inches of lift if you get the standard travel like us, and you can do anywhere from stock height to 2 inches of lift in the rear with the shocks we went with if you were to add a spacer or spring. They are also available in extended travel options for vehicles that already have at least 2 inches of lift in the rear and an aftermarket upper control arm. And those give you a little bit of extra travel, definitely worth a little bit of extra money. We went standard travel because we think that's what most people will go with. In that same vein, they're also available with reservoirs, which we went with the IFP shocks, no reservoir, because once again, we don't think a lot of you guys will be checking out those reservoir parts. In fact, actually, I didn't even think there would be a reason for the 2.0 with a reservoir until we tested these. So they actually might be something to consider for you guys who are spending a lot of time off-road, churning a lot of distance. What makes these shocks a little bit different to what we're used to seeing in this space is that they use a secondary piston to reduce harsh top outs and really control things a little better on rebound, like the Fox 2.5 HTOs or the OMI MT64s, something we found to make a really big difference. But if you want to learn more about these specific shocks, make sure to check out our previous videos where we unbox them, give you all the tech, all the features, and everything you need to know about this setup. And while you're there, make sure you're hitting like, subscribe, and the bell icon so you can be notified of all the fun stuff we're getting into. If we're being honest, we've actually already taken these off-road and they did exceptionally well. So if you're subscribed, well, you'll see just how well they did in a couple weeks. But today, it's all about the install. And as a bonus, on top of showing you all the important steps of putting these coilovers and shocks on, we'll also be seeing how much travel we gain, if any, and what we're looking like in terms of tire clearance, because if you haven't noticed already, these new 4Runners got a lot more room to party than the old ones. So let's get to the good stuff. Something even we are guilty of not talking about enough is how a lot of these aftermarket coilover and shock upgrades will actually net you at least a little bit more travel, or at least a little bit more down travel, which is a real big benefit on top of the increase of damping performance. Suspension is all about quantity and quality, quantity being travel, quality being how good your shocks and springs are. And well, you can have the best set of shocks in the world. If you don't have the travel, well, they're not going to do you any favors. This is extra important on something that is going to be designed to lift your vehicle because, well, as you extend the suspension further, you want to make sure you still have adequate droop travel to keep from topping out. Now, we have those secondary top out pistons to help, but if they're the same length of stock, particularly in the front when fully extended, we extend it further, we might have a little bit of harsher ride than we would like, especially if we're in that top out zone all the time. So we will be pulling the springs off the shocks and running the suspension all the way through its travel to see what we start with and what we gain. You might have also noticed this 4Runner already has a set of 285 70R17 tires, which is a 33 by 11.5, and it hasn't rubbed at all at stock height. Now, I think a lot of that is the 17 by 8.5 plus 25 wheels it is running. By getting the right offset wheel, you know your tire's going to be in the right place. And these need to be a little bit more conservative in the fitment department than previous generations of Toyotas. So while we are cycling the travel to get the numbers, we're also going to put the tires on to see what, if anything, hits and how much more room for activities we have. So while we're pushing the tires up and down through the travel, we'll be steering it all the way left and right to see what hits. And I can guarantee it ain't going to be much on those 33s. Well, I'd be lying if I said the results didn't surprise me, but I think we're in really good shape here. Now, in the front, it's pretty obvious that these Radflows are longer fully compressed and they do limit upward travel, but are long enough fully extended that you will achieve the same amount or a little bit more droop travel in stock, even at 2 inches of lift, while still having the same or a little bit more bump travel. Although it's only about an inch of increase, that inch is in all the right places, as they say. Now, being a little bit longer fully compressed definitely helps us in the tire clearance department. We had absolutely no clearance issues with the stock suspension. If you're going to run a 33 by 11.5, a 285 70/17, or equivalent metric size on a 17 by 8.5 plus 25 to plus 35 wheel, you're not going to have to do anything. The real reason why you might want to upgrade your suspension for that tire size is we did notice a little bit of loss in ride quality control when we increased that tire size, which improved drastically with the Radflow, something you'll see in our review later. But that little bit of additional extended length on the Radflows definitely gave us a lot more room to party. So let's talk about what we think you can get away with next to no trimming. I think a 34 by 11.5 on that right wheel size will not have any real clearance issues, even with the stock suspension, outside of doing a little bit of trimming on the inside. And with the Radflows, I think you're going to be pretty much 100% safe. And to get to a 35, I think you might just be doing a little bit of trimming behind that flare on the fender itself, and maybe a little viper cut, a little extra positive caster, and you'll be in the money, which is exponentially better than the previous generations of 4Runner, which would require a lot of cutting, hammering, and welding to get anything over a 33 on. So we're definitely in some real good shape there in that department. But let's talk about the Radflows, because really that's what we're here for, right? They bolted on super easily out of the box. They came in right at 1.5 inches of lift in the front. They can go up to 2, but we think that 1.5 is going to be pretty much ideal. We matched them with the 1.5 inch lift rear springs from Dobinson, which felt like a really good pairing. And because these 4Runners sit so low in the travel, despite not gaining any travel with the standard travel rear shocks, it is in a much better travel range. These 4Runners obviously sit really low in the travel in the rear, as you saw from our numbers from our testing and all the measuring. And so actually being a little bit up taller despite losing some droop travel is to the benefit. And once again, you'll see in our testing coming soon that articulation definitely wasn't a problem. All in, this is a really, really, really solid setup. And I'll give you a little spoilers. They ride amazing. So if you want to find out just how good they did, make sure to hit like, subscribe, and the bell icon so you can be notified of all the fun stuff we're getting into, because we've already tested these and full reviews coming soon. We only got good things to say. But if there's something else you want to see us test from the Radflow catalog for 4Runners or anything else, make sure to hit us in that comment section below. And if you're subscribed, you hit notify, chances are you're going to see what you asked us to test. And if you're interested in these Radflows or anything else for your 4Runner or anything else, well, slide on over to shocksurplus.com, and we'd love to get you dialed in. And in the meantime, we'll see you out on the trails.